Welcome once again to Impact Moment. I'm Alvin Jones right here on DCTV, and we always like the opportunity to bring you information about people and organizations that are helping this community. And that's why today we have Harold Pettigrew. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Washington Area Community Investment Fund, better known as WACIF. How you doing, Harold?
I'm doing wonderful, Al. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, man, it's our pleasure. Explain to the folks that are watching how WACIF helps the community, especially when it comes to getting funds.
Absolutely. So WACIF is a 34-year-old impact organization here in the Washington, D.C. region. And our goal is, simply put, we invest in people to start, grow, and develop small businesses. We do that through financial capital, which people know us for, but also it's through knowledge capital and social capital. So we help provide the knowledge and advisory work to help people be better business owners or to make those strategic decisions, and also help people access new networks and connections and business opportunities. All that paired with financial capital helps our organization to be catalytic and to make sure our investments in people are done right.
It sounds like for the 34 years that you guys have been in existence, you have figured out that whole matrix and how to balance it.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree more. You know, we find that it's important because we think through this as a partnership. The moment that we invest, we're there for the success of the people that we're investing in. You know, and so what we found is that when we do pair capital with advisory work, it makes the business better. It makes us a deeper partner. And we make better businesses throughout the region that are the anchors for our community.
How has the Washington Area Community Investment Fund had to adjust during COVID? Because a lot of the mom and pop businesses were really affected. And I'm sure you had to change strategies not only to deal with situations that you had prepared for, but also situations that had never existed before.
For us coming into the year, we already had this anchoring towards ensuring that our communities were resilient. And that's what we were building for. What we didn't know, though, is that we were going to run head first, like everyone else, into 2020. And so we had already begun planning to build our operations, to invest in team members, and to position ourselves as an organization that could be a resource, not only to entrepreneurs, but to also to other entities really throughout the region. Until 2020 invited new partners into our work. We worked heavily with the District of Columbia government. And we were proud not only to see the work that was done, but the leadership of Mayor Bowser and Deputy Mayor Falchecchio, and many of the programs that were put in place to help small businesses thrive. And so for us, it was, how do we become a solution? How do we become a partner to helping the city ensure that small businesses survive? And so what that translated into was over $11 million in debt relief, resilience grants, loans as well, that were deployed to small businesses to help them to just try to survive, because that's what we were all focused on last year. So for the next 2 years at least, we're going to be focused on small business recovery efforts. And so launching resilience-focused efforts, more targeted efforts focused on our communities of color, specifically entrepreneurs of color, and being focused on products, services, programs that are really focused on helping our businesses to not only rebuild, but be positioned so that they can withstand the next disruption.
Let's take a look at what are the goals and what's in the future for the Washington Area Community Investment Fund.
Absolutely. You know, we've made sure that we've been focused on the current needs, because we do know that there's still a lot of need there as we collectively recover from the pandemic. What was important, though, for me, was that we also keep our eyes down the road. We know the recovery is going to take a couple years, at least the next 2 to 3, and making sure that we have focused, sustained attention on our small businesses and bringing the right tools and attention so that we can facilitate a just economy and a just recovery. So part of our strategy for the future has been to roll out new targeted services One of the things we launched this year as part of that is a new business center focused on women entrepreneurs of color, because we know the importance of women entrepreneurs of color to not only leading businesses, the highest growth segment of entrepreneurs across the country, but also to our families, to our households, to our communities. And we've made sure that we launched a new service designed specifically to assist women entrepreneurs of color with new products, new programs, and also new capital that's coming. The other pieces I'll mention to that is a center-based approach that we're taking, building off the success of the Enterprising Women of Color Center to launch a new resilience center as well. And that'll be our focus on recovery, making sure that we have those targeted services in place.
It sounds like you guys are doing some great things. HP, better known as Harold Pettigrew, the Chief Executive Officer of the Washington Area Community Investment Fund. Hey man, thank you so very much for coming on the show and all you do for the folks here in the Washington, D.C. area.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Al.
For Impact Moment, I'm Alvin Jones right here on DC TV.